Hi, everybody. We're Jess and Kristen. Welcome to Situations, the Poop Podcast,
where we talk about all things poop related, from your crappiest stories to your most pressing questions.
So come listen, because we have something for every asshole.
What are archaeologists going to think 1,000 years from now when they find petrified, preserved dog poop all over the place?
So, is this person fucked up and poops on someone's front lawn? This is going to be good.
So, my idea, I've had this idea for a long time for episodes, but like it takes some curating because you got to pull a bunch of stuff together. I really love podcasts and just groups who do Reddit reactions. So I have found a collection of Reddit stories, and I'm going to read them to you. Some of them I actually haven't read. I just did like a cursory glance. And so we're just going to react to them together. But they're all about poop. And
I can't wait.
So what a lot of groups do is they will like stick to one. Have you been on Reddit before?
Yeah, I use it all the time.
Okay, yeah. So they'll stick to like one category of types of stories, but I pulled from a few different ones. So I have a few Am I the Assholes, a few confessions, a few Today I Fucked Ups. I'm thinking we'll just stick with like the Am I the Asshole ones, and then we can vote.
Okay.
Like if you think they're an asshole or not, and then we'll see what the Reddit community voted them as.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. You look very excited.
I am excited. I can't wait. It's just like some of these stories are so good and people just unleash on Reddit. It's so good. I can't wait.
Okay. So, there's actually two that I thought would be good because we'll get two sides of the same coin. So, we'll start with those two first. So, we have Am I the Asshole for letting my dog poop on other people's lawns? And then we have the counter, Am I the Asshole for yelling at the kid for letting his dog poop on my lawn? Which one do you want to start with?
Do the Am I the Asshole for the dog pooping on the lawn?
They're both for the dog pooping on the lawn. Which direction?
The first one.
Okay. Before I read it, what is your opinion on letting your dog poop on someone else's lawn? Assuming you pick it up. This specifically has the context that you pick it up.
Okay. Yeah, because I was going to say, I'm like, honestly, if you're going to pick it up, I mean, if you're going to pick it up, I was like, whatever, your dog's going to shit where your dog's going to shit. Just make sure you pick it up. But then at the same time, I'm like, if it's like a wet shit and then you can't really get all of it and it's like just in someone else's lawn.
But you don't know if it's going to be a wet shit.
That's true. I mean, if I had a dog and my dog had to go, and sometimes it's not like super avoidable, so I don't think it's super horrible to... I don't think it's... Viri's just going to town back there.
She's having a different
so I do. So I don't think it's super horrible. I think in certain circumstances you can't avoid it. So I think as long as you pick it up, whatever. Although I do know people, especially nowadays, can be rather particular about that. And people I think are a lot less understanding or territorial over their yard and things that happen. But if you're just gonna like let your dog shit and leave it there, I kind of think you're the asshole.
Yes, I totally agree. If you're not going to pick it up, you're always the asshole. However, like some of it is like we live in a neighborhood, and so there's no public, like unless we purposely walk like in the opposite direction towards the public park, there is no public space for Viri to poop on. And she'll always choose the grass over like the sidewalk. What is she doing? And so... It's like she knows we're recording.
Her little face in the background, too, is like, the fuck?
But yeah, so Viri will always choose to poop in the grass. We do have a neighbor who has the little signs that it's like the little no pooping in my yard. And
Do they have multiple? The way you just did that made it sound like they have one every foot.
Yeah, it is. They have like 3. Yeah,
don't let the dog poop in that yard.
Yeah. And, but like, right, it's kind of, there's no other place for her to poop. Obviously, I'm going to pick it up, but, you know, I find that argument tough because, like, well, what else do you want me to do? Like, she's not going to poop in the street.
Yeah.
And So that's tough. Jack and I have a running joke where, people who leave dog poop, like, in the baggies, but they don't take it with them. They just, like, leave it on the side of a trail.
Yes, but I haven't thought about that.
Okay. Well, our thing is, like, why are you going to bag it if you're just going to leave it? Like, you might as well just leave it unbagged because then it'll decompose and,
Yeah, but they're probably doing that because it's the beginning of the hike. The dog took a shit, and they don't want to carry the dog's shit the whole hike. So their intention is to leave it there, and then on their way back, when they pass it, they'll pick it up. Although I have a feeling that a lot of times they just like don't see it when they walk by, which is, I feel like,
they just forget about it. Yeah.
Not unreasonable. They just walk right by it and they're like, oh shit, we forgot. No pun intended. We forgot the shit.
Yeah.
But I think that's often why you see that, is because the dog pooped at the very beginning of the hike, and instead of carrying around the smelly poop bag, they're like, well, we'll just leave it right here, and then on our way back down, we'll grab it and throw it out on our way out. I think that's what that is.
You're probably right, but you don't really know.
They're still horrible. They're still horrible people. Don't get me wrong.
Well, I was going to say that. So our joke is like, because we had come up with the whole conversation of like, what are archaeologists going to think 1,000 years from now when they find petrified, preserved dog poop all over the place? And they're going to think that we had some kind of like social system around preserving dog poop, and there's probably a religion about it. And so we were like, they probably think that we worship dogs and we have to preserve the poop, and that's why it's mummified everywhere, every path you see. And so now anytime we encounter a random poop bag that's just sitting there, we go, worshippers, worshippers.
That's pretty funny. It is interesting to think about that, right? You don't know. It's like that ginormous fossilized poop they found in one country. It's like the largest human poop ever fossilized. And
yes.
Interesting.
Right. So like, yeah, we preserve our poop.
There is, have you seen, I'm on like a dog video kick today. Have you seen, there's a dog video where someone voiced over and they're like, they collect our poop. Have you seen this? I think they do something with it. What do you think they do with it? Like, I don't know. But watch. Look, they're picking it up. They're collecting our poop. They need it. For something.
Yeah, I have seen that.
People are clever.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll get into the first Reddit story. So, am I the asshole for letting my dog poop on other people's lawns? Parentheses, I always pick it up. Just from the title alone, asshole, not asshole. I vote not asshole.
Not an asshole.
Okay. My dog, male pug, 3 years, has never liked pooping on our own lawn. When I take him for a walk, he will pick a random lawn to do the deed. I try to usher him to public property as much as possible, but when you gotta poop, you gotta poop. He does his thing, I scoop, and we move on with our lives. One day, a woman, 70s, yelled at me for letting my pudge poop on her lawn and say I was trespassing and ruining her grass. I picked up the poop, apologized, and went on my merry way. The same woman approaches me randomly on the street a few days later and starts up again, and I told her that my dog hasn't been near her house since that last time, and I won't allow my dog to poop on her lawn, so just chill. I make it a point now to cross the street when I'm close to her house, so there's no danger of Pug Boy even sniffing at her precious grass. A few months go by, everything's fine, or so I thought. My husband took our dog for a walk, and Pug Boy pooped on the lawn of this woman's neighbor. She comes running out of her house, berating my husband for trespassing and allowing our dog to poop on other people's lawns. He picked it up and walked away without saying anything. So now I've started to ask neighbors and others I know whose lawns he likes to frequent if they have an issue with it, and without exception, they all say no. Am I the asshole?
So the neighbors, so everyone has told him that they don't really care.
Correct. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't think in that situation, I don't think he's the asshole. Especially, I mean, is he walking the dog into the middle of the front yard and letting it shit? In that scenario, it'd be like, right. Probably, you're kind of pushing it. But if, like, the dog is just pooping on the side by, like, where the sidewalk meets the grass, no, I don't think he's the asshole, especially if you pick it up.
And he said once he got confronted by that neighbor, he purposely, like, walks very far away from their yard.
Yeah, avoided it.
So now the neighbor's coming out on behalf of someone else's yard and is like, you can't do that.
Yeah. I also feel like those situations that's an instant where that person is just, I think, unhappy with a lot of other things. You know what I mean? They have no control over a lot of things that they're unhappy about, so they are just like, this is the thing. This is the thing. I'm going to die on this hill. So it's like, if you're avoiding it and she's still seeking you out to, like, yell at you when you have no problem with someone else, it's like, yeah, I don't think he's the asshole.
So, crazy enough, he was voted asshole.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. What does that say about us?
Some of the comments, you're the asshole. You're literally letting your dog shit on other people's property. How is this even a post? Some areas this is perfectly acceptable as long as the owner picks up the poop. Yeah, but surely other people's front gardens aren't those areas. Haha. Let's see. Dude, everyone's dog shits in everyone's front yard here. No one cares as long as you pick it up. Most homes have a grassy patch or wood chips or something like that. If it weren't for these threads, I wouldn't even know there's places that this is not normal. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. I'm really surprised.
You know, I am too. But I almost think that you're more of an asshole, or I think there'd be more of a problem with the peeing on the lawn, because I do know certain people are obsessed with their lawns. Like, they go through so much time and effort to, you know, keep it green and make it look super nice. And it's like a whole, like, subculture for certain people. I don't know if that's the right term of phrase, but, and the pee, I know, discolors or kills the grass, so I could see that being more of a thing, where it's like, well, you can't pick it up, and now my grass is dead, so stop letting your dog pee on my lawn. I kind of get that a little bit more, but with the poop, especially if you're going to pick it up, I'm kind of surprised. What does that say about us if we're...
Apparently we're the assholes.
Yeah.
Sorry. Fun fact. Did you know every human being started out as an asshole?
That's what forms first?
Yeah. The butthole. When you are a little ball of cells, it is literally the butthole. We're called deuterosomes. This is one of the things I remember from high school biology.
How do you spell that?
Deutersome. I'm totally wrong. Probably.
Okay, because when you said it, it sounded like a doo-doo.
Yeah, doo-doo or zomes. No,
Which
it's definitely EUT. I know that much. But yeah, when you start out as a clump of cells, your butthole forms first, so that you, like, as energy and things and byproducts happen, there's a place for it to expel to. So literally everyone's an asshole, or at least you started out that way.
Interesting. I did not know that. I don't know how I feel about that.
Okay, well, clearly we are the assholes according to Reddit. Moving on. Now we have the reverse opinion. Am I the asshole for yelling at a kid for letting his dog poop on my lawn? I've recently located my home office so that it's facing the road, which means I get a good view of people that walk past each morning as I'm working. Every day around 10 or 11 a.m., I've noticed that this kid, probably a 14, 15-year-old boy, comes past with his two dogs, a German Shepherd and a Golden Retriever. Both of them are on leashes. However, I've noticed that he lets them sniff and walk into other people's properties. If they walk into someone else's yard, he'll follow them in absent-mindedly, he's often on his phone, to the point he's literally completely inside my property line, and his dogs are a good 10 plus feet in. He always lets them have a sniff around, and most of the time the dogs will pee in a few places. The Golden has a habit of peeing on the wall of my house, which is really annoying. They then become disinterested, so he walks off. However, the other day, one of the dogs popped a squat and began taking a dump in my front yard. The kid was pretty nonchalant about it and didn't seem to try to move the dog when it started squatting, but he did pick up the poop and take it with him. This morning, he came by again and, of course, let his dogs into my yard. They began doing their usual peeing ritual, but the German Shepherd pooped and squatted, so I immediately went downstairs. Oh, he keeps saying popped a squat. I keep thinking he says pooped. The German Shepherd popped a squat, so I immediately went downstairs to go confront him about it. I basically told him that it's disrespectful to keep bringing his dogs onto my property and that he should leave my house alone. I may have raised my voice, but I didn't swear or anything. He seemed visibly upset, took the poop, and left. Anyway, that night, his mother came up to me and gave me a piece of her mind. She called me a fucking twat for yelling at a kid, and I said I hope I feel good about myself. I said that he's been doing it for a while and that it's annoying and he needs to learn. I apologized for raising my voice, but I said that I disagree with the practice. She said that if the poop is cleaned up, it doesn't really matter and that I'm just a twat. am I the asshole for yelling at him?
No.
You don't think he's the asshole for yelling at the kid?
No, I don't. I mean, depends on the level of yelling, but I think the frustration is completely valid. This is kind of what I was talking about, where it's like, if it's the edge of the yard and the kid picks it up, whatever, but it seems like this kid is just like, now you're entering someone else's property, and it is a boundary that's kind of, it's rude, and that's starting to encroach a little bit too much, I think, on personal space, and I just think that's, the fact that kid felt that comfortable doing that, I feel like that's a little bit more on the parents, like, dude, our parents, are you kidding me? If we do that, our mom would be like, what the fuck do you think you're doing? Get your ass back here right now. Like, that would not be okay, and it would be squashed immediately.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I think it also depends on how big the property is, right? Like, talking about our parents, like our dad's house, huge ass front yard. So if we've gotten to the point where your dog is like all the way up to that house, like, you're definitely way overstepping. But like mom's front yard, she basically has no front yard. So like a dog peeing on her house,
but still,
like, it's like the length of the leash.
But still, the dog peeing, but still, that's like, you can make the leash shorter. You know what I mean? It's just like a respect thing, where it's like, you shouldn't be letting your pet pee or take a shit on someone else's house. Like, that's officially too far. I also think that probably, it was happening for a while, which was probably super frustrating. I have a feeling this is just like, they snapped and it was the end of the rope. They probably should have addressed it sooner, and it wouldn't have been as big of a blowout, I guess.
Yeah, pun intended.
But no, I don't really think they're the asshole. And the fact that the mom came and yelled at that person, I also think that's kind of an asshole move. Like, yeah, this is tough. I don't have kids, so it's really hard to say.
How old was the kid? He's like 15, so he's a teenager. It'd be one thing if it was like an 8-year-old, and then the mom, I would think it's justified for the mom to be, yeah, he's a kid, he's learning. But for it to be a teenager,
like, hey, yeah, but it's also like, you can let's have an adult conversation that's like, hey man, I'm so sorry that my son's been letting our dog do this. Please do me a favor, like, please either come to me and let me know that it's happening. Don't yell at my kid, and I'll try my best to fix it, or handle it in a kinder way. Don't yell at them. I just feel like it could have, on all fronts, it probably could have been handled better. I don't think that person is an asshole for being upset about it and letting the kid know they don't want him to do it. I feel weird about this one.
Yeah, I ultimately agree. I think he's not the asshole either. And the fact that he owned it and he was like, yeah, I'm sorry, maybe I was louder than I had planned to.
Yeah.
And I think you're right too. Like, this is just a good note for everybody. If there's something that's frustrating you, don't let it bottle up, because then it explodes out. So, ultimately, Reddit voted not the asshole. Some of the comments, not the asshole. You don't take care of your lawn, plant landscaping, and live there, so some inconsiderate neighbor has the convenience of shitting on it. Your yard is not a dog park. Not the asshole. If he is responsible for walking the dogs, his mother should have taught him not to let them defecate and urinate on people's private property. As long as you didn't swear or go overboard, you taught him a meaningful lesson. I don't know what ESH means. Do you know what ESH means?
No, let me do a quick search.
While you're searching, the comment says, ESH, it is rude to walk your dog on other people's property without their permission.
Oh, sorry, I'm cutting you off.
What is it? What's ESH?
Everyone sucks here.
Ah, okay. It's also rude when you have an issue with your neighbor to charge out loaded for a confrontation when you can just say, hey, please don't walk your dog in my yard. I know some people may not mind, but I'm not comfortable with it. It's not like the kid was being malicious or intentionally disrespectful. He's just a bit absent-minded and didn't think about it, which is typical for a child of that age. And also, he was picking it up. So it is, yeah, the kid wasn't doing anything bad or purposefully bad.
Yeah, I just feel like this one actually dives so much deeper into so many other problems that are arising, like, these days, you know, where it's like, hey, why is it like that? I just feel like, I don't know, I wish everyone was a little bit more understanding of when certain people are upset. And it's like, no one reacts well to an intense emotion, right? So if you come out angry, or it's like no one really is very good at staying calm in those situations, especially if it feels directed at that person. So then they react in kind. So I think that's all of those things kind of come into play. And like I said, I feel like if that person had said something earlier before they were that upset about it, it probably would have come out in a much better way. And I feel like that's probably coming from a place of, like, I would never do this, so how is this kid allowing you to do this? And then it just blows up where not everybody is raised the same way. But it's like, and I don't really understand. I get that woman is, like, defending her son, but also the kid is 15. Like you said, it's not an 8-year-old. If my kid was 15, I'd be like, well, maybe you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't let the dog go up there. He shouldn't have yelled at you, but at the same time, and then it's like, go over there and be like, hey, I'm really sorry that happened. Can you do me a favor next time?
Yeah, send the 15-year-old over to, like, engage with that. Our parents would have done that. Be like, all right, you have to now go apologize to the neighbor.
Yeah. And also, it's like, hey, if it happens again, like, just come directly to me. Please don't, like, yell at my kid. I'm so sorry that happened, but I don't know.
Yeah. Anywho, moving on. Am I the asshole for pooping during a dinner party?
This is a person poop, not an animal poop?
This is a person poop.
Okay.
No, it's the dog writing. It's the dog writing the Reddit.
Well, I mean, I'm interested in what's going to come out of this, because you originally said about pooping on lawns. So is this person fucked up and poops on someone's front lawn? This is going to be good.
Ooh, that's true. All right, no context. Pooping during a dinner party. Asshole, not asshole.
Pooping during... I mean, I would say no, just because what are you going to do? You have to poop, you have to poop. It's either you poop or shit your pants. I mean, or you have to leave. It's just a bodily function. But depending on what gets said, I have a feeling my answer might change.
Okay. Throw away because my wife and coworkers know my username. My wife and I were hosting a dinner party pre-COVID. At some point during the meal, I felt like I needed to poop, so I got up from the table and excused myself to the downstairs bathroom. After a while, 20 minutes or so, I was done with my business, so I washed my hands and returned to the table. I didn't notice anything odd, but later that night, after our guests had left, my wife told me I had been rude to our guests. She said I had violated the unspoken, but according to her, universally known and practiced dinner party pooping rules. Dinner party pooping rules. Say that 3 times fast. In my wife's words, the DPPRs are: 1. If you are hosting a dinner party and you need to drop a deuce, you must absent yourself to the upstairs/private toilet with a believable non-poop excuse, and you may be gone for 3 to 5 minutes. 2. If your bowel evacuation takes longer than 3 to 5 minutes to arrive and reach completion, it is not a dinner party poop and must wait until either A, after the guests have left, or B, your state of bowel readiness has progressed to the point that the poop will take no more than 3 to 5 minutes. 3, you are not permitted to befoul the public/downstairs bathroom with poop stench. 4, nor are you permitted to use either bathroom, but especially not the downstairs/public bathroom, which is adjacent to the dining room, for upwards of 15 minutes, especially not when you have a table full of guests in the dining room trying to make polite conversation despite your conspicuous absence. I agreed to use the upstairs bathroom if I needed to poop the next time we had a dinner party, but only because it wasn't worth getting into an argument with my wife about pooping. She says it's not about pooping, it's about making our guests feel uncomfortable by being gone from the table for a long time, and for making the guest bathroom smell like poop. I don't know, I guess I think that bathrooms are for pooping in and it's not a big deal, and no one else follows these rules. So, Reddit, am I the asshole for pooping during a dinner party?
Absolutely not.
What I find fascinating about these rules, and I wonder if she applies this to all situations or just her home because it is laid out this way, but, like, what if you only have one bathroom? Like, not only do we have one bathroom in our apartment, we have one bathroom in the kitchen. So, like, you gotta...
Subcontext A, if you only have one bathroom, please see these rules.
And also, if these are her very strict dinner party rules, does she make her guests follow these rules? Like, what if your dinner party guest decides to go take a 20-minute shit? Like, is she gonna tell them, like, you can't do that next time you're at my house?
Yeah, I have a couple thoughts on this. One, I thought it was going to be a guest at someone else's house. And then it turned out to be his own house. So I was officially like, yeah, no, just send it. For sure, send it. 2, I love that he made sure to put in there that he washed his hands before we turned to the party.
I didn't even notice that.
Thank you. Thank you for clarifying for the Reddit community that you wash your hands before returning to the dinner party. And 3, you know us, obviously, we talk about poop all the time, and if we were at a dinner party and I had to leave, I would probably announce that I had to poop, which I feel like would be even worse in this woman's point of view, because you're at a dinner party and you're talking about poop.
Oh, that would be, you'd be divorced. You'd be kicked out.
But, or if someone else left and was gone for that long, we would make a comment that was like, they're probably pooping. Like, you know what I mean? So I feel like the fact that I really doubt a couple things. I really doubt that her guests actually had a problem or felt uncomfortable with him being gone for that long. I have a feeling she felt insecure for whatever reason that her partner left the table and was gone. That's clearly some insecurity on her part, in my opinion. If her guests do have a problem and really were feeling weird that he was gone for that long, I feel like you need new friends. That's a tough group to be around.
Oh, yeah.
Also, it said that they were married.
Yeah.
The fact that this didn't come up pre-marriage, or even, I mean, who knows how long they've been married, but the fact that this is just coming to the surface now is interesting to me. And
some people don't have... not that I would consider this a marriage important conversation, but clearly it is. Some people don't talk about the big stuff until after they're married. They just get in the excitement of getting married, and then it's like, oh, what do we do with our bank accounts? Oh, how do you want to raise kids? Oh, what do you mean you don't want kids, right? So, like, people think about those conversations. I don't think people think, like, how do you feel about pooping when we have guests over?
Yeah. I feel like this is a standard. It's not about the poop.
Oh, okay.
You know, I don't think that I don't think it's really about the poop. I think it's about the fact that she, for whatever reason, is feeling insecure in that, I don't know, in that moment, or something came up, and he's gone now for 20 minutes, and she's trying to carry this party, and is sweating it out, and feel, like, I think that's more about what it is. It has nothing to do with the poop. And, yeah, like you said, I mean, people gotta poop. It's a bodily function. So if you're making your husband feel uncomfortable, now your guests are going to feel uncomfortable. I mean, maybe come up with different, again, have supplies in there for your husband and your guests to poop and not have the problem. Have a ceiling fan. Turn it on. Keep it on. Use spray. Use poopery. I don't freaking know. I didn't even know that was a thing. I'd be interested to know if the dinner party rules, I've never heard of that before in my life. I'd be interested to see if we Googled that. Actually, you know what? Let's do it right now.
Listeners, if you guys have specific pooping rules, please write in, comment, tell us about them.
Dinner party pooping rules. Okay, AI overview. The rules for pooping at a dinner party are to be discreet and considerate of other guests. If you must go, excuse yourself briefly and quietly, and minimize any door noise. Any odor. Or noise. Door noise, like, that's intense. Okay, this is getting weird. Odor
into a bathroom or out of it.
Any odor or noise, which is also hilarious. So no grunting while on the toilet.
I will say that I've been very embarrassed or, like, self-conscious of when people have their bathroom immediately next to the table, and you're like, "Fuck, this is gonna be a noisy one," and you're just like I just picture, like, a movie where the dinner party is all sitting there and you just hear the, like, echoing of fart noises emanating out of the bathroom. Like,
so
that would make me self-conscious.
Yeah,
but, like...
for sure. I mean, this is so interesting. I mean, it did come up. So a part of me is like, is this real? Like, did this person make this up? Because it sounded so far-fetched. But then, obviously, AI just pulled this from the internet. So, and it does say, it says, if you find basically you should try to go before the party. If you can't, and it says you shouldn't take longer than 3 to 5 minutes. It's often recommended to wait till the party is over. Excuse yourself politely. And then it says, be quick, but not rushed. Be mindful of your host time. Minimize odor. Clean up after yourself. Obviously, avoid long absences. It says a prolonged absence can make other guests uncomfortable. So a 15-minute departure is generally too long.
Click on the link to that specific one. Did they just reference this
Reddit story?
Yeah.
It might have. There's a Quora one. Is it rude to poop in someone else's house? And then there is this third one. Universalclass.com articles. Understanding place settings, proper dining rules. Which I do know, like, in certain circles, I mean, I think it was way more common years ago to have, like...
Sure. If we have a fancy-ass house and 6 different types of place settings and 17 types of towels, depending on the situation, yeah.
Yeah, like debutante-style stuff. The, like, this is the silverware you use. This is, like, proper, but...
Right. In today's world...
Can you imagine us at a dinner party like that?
Jesus Christ. We'd never be accepted again.
Nope.
I will say, there are a couple I agree with. If you have more than one bathroom, I do think it is fair to go to the further away bathroom.
I agree. That's fair.
That, yeah. A, the noise is better. B, the smell, if it becomes a problem, is better. And also, bonus is that it leaves the close one available for your guests. So, like, if you are going to take a while and someone's sitting there and they got a shit, at least they...
That's fair.
Because I feel very uncomfortable as a guest to, like, wander in deeper into people's homes to, like, find the other bathroom.
Yeah.
So I'll probably pick the closest one.
This is a little side tangent. I am curious to know, I feel like we should ask listeners to write in about this, what is, like, an average time to poop? Because I feel like boys notoriously take longer to poop. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's because their poops are just bigger. I don't know if it's, like, their quiet time and they just want to hang out in there, which also makes no sense to me because it smells. Like, why do you want to sit in there while you're pooping?
My poop doesn't always smell terrible.
No, but it's not great. And then I'm also, when I have to go, it's like, I gotta go. I go in there. I go immediately, and I think that done. Like, it doesn't take me more than, like, a minute to go, usually.
I think that's special
I'm constipated.
To you.
But in that circumstance, I know that I'm constipated, and it's gonna take a minute.
I think that's special to you, because I will have the sensation to poop, and then I'll go, and when I sit down, it's gone. Like, the sensation is gone.
Really?
And then, like, I'll sit there for a minute or two and be like, all right, it's not going to happen. And I'll stand up and I walk out and I was like, nope, you do still have to poop. So then I have to, like, go back in there. So, yeah, I think the idea that, like, a poop can be controlled to how long it takes is rare. I don't think that's as easy as everyone, or as these people claim it is.
I'm curious about that. I would really like, for our listeners to write in and tell us what is their average time to poop. And if they feel the urge to poop, is it instant? Well, it's so curious to me, because then there's people who shit themselves all the time because they think it's a fart and they just send it and it's a poop. But then you go to the bathroom and you're like, oh, that's weird. I thought I had to poop and I can't poop. Even if I feel like any pressure whatsoever, even if it's just a fart, I go to the bathroom because I don't want to risk it. And sometimes it is just a fart, and sometimes I'm like, oh, nope, I had to poop. So it's just curious to me. So yeah, I would love our listeners to write in and let us know when they feel like they have to go, if it's instantaneous or if it takes a minute. And then if they are in the bathroom, what's the average amount of time that it actually takes them to go poop? And I don't mean like you're done and you're sitting on the toilet just hanging out. I mean, like, actually physically in the process of pooping. How long does it take you? Yeah. So write into situationspodcast@gmail.com and let us know.
Yeah, definitely. You can also DM us on Instagram. But so another piece of this is I feel like this is what creates, like, social anxiety, especially around pooping, because I'm guarantee there are stories out there of people who end up shitting their pants because they held it for the dinner party because they were like, oh no, this is going to be a bad one, or it's going to be too long. Like, I'll just wait till the end of the party. But then they have a half-hour drive home and there's no gas station open or whatever. Or they get to the gas station and the bathroom's locked or closed or whatever, and they end up shitting themselves. And that's a whole nother set of stories that I'm sure we'll get. So, like, I feel like these rules are a little too intense, and it's like, you have a bathroom. It's kinda wild. It's a working bathroom. You gotta go. So. Yeah.
It's interesting. Okay, so the only time that I feel like I'm at risk of pooping my pants is if it's like, I ate something weird and it's going through me real fast, and I know it's gonna be like more of a watery diarrhea poop. If I try to hold that, it's not good. But if it's just a normal poop and I hold it, I actually end up, like, constipating myself.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a thing.
Like, I can't go, and then it's uncomfortable, and it's a whole thing.
That is 100% a thing. And also, if you start pooping, and right, what does she say? Like, if the duration of your poop is going to be longer than 5 minutes,
don't know.
do you want to cut it? Like, do you just close it? You just never.
You're like, oh, I know this feeling. This is a 5-minuter. I'm gonna be in and out with this baby.
You can't just decide like, oh,
nobody knows that.
I hit the timer. Time to like clench, hold it together. We're gonna waddle out back to dinner. I've been gone too long.
Pinch it off. We're done.
So Reddit voted this person asshole. Some of the top comments say, you're the asshole for using the downstairs bathroom next to your dining room where your guests will also have to go. 20 minutes is a long time to be gone when you've got dinner guests still eating dinner. I agree with that comment. It's less about the pooping.
It is a little bit tough, but at the same time, I feel like this is a tough one. I don't feel like there's a clear answer. I don't think he's an asshole for pooping when he has a dinner party. Sometimes you can't help it and you gotta go. I feel like maybe he could have excused himself and just been like, oh, sorry folks, like, I have to go do something. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to announce what you're doing, but just make it known that you have to, like, exit for a little while. He probably should have used the bathroom that wasn't right next to the dinner party. Agreed.
Yeah. This person says,
but
yes.
at the same time,
oh, go ahead.
I think those rules are a little intense.
Yeah. This person says, yes, you're the asshole. It's super awkward to have disappeared for so long in the middle of dinner. He might as well have come back and announced that he had just enjoyed an excellent BM, because I don't think he took one step to hide what was going down, which, again, awkward. I mean, that's exactly how you and I would have entered back into the dinner party. So, guys, I just had the best shit of my life.
Honestly, sometimes holding it is not the best option, because sometimes if you have to go and you hold it, you just start farting a lot and people are trying to eat dinner and now it just stinks and smells like farts.
Or you're just uncomfortable because you're holding it and you're just like, you're not paying attention to the conversation. You're paying attention to your gut and the fact that it hurts and trying not to fart and like thinking about, should I go? Shouldn't I go? Like, when will this be done? When's acceptable for me to leave so that I can go? So that's all.
Yeah, I don't think this one was cut and dry.
Yeah.
This one was a little harder.
Okay. This person, why does it take men so long? Why? My ex pooped for like half an hour. It takes me a few minutes max.
Yeah, I don't get it. That's what I mean. Are they actually pooping the whole time, or are they in there just like hanging out? I feel like they might just be hanging out.
Yeah. I don't see it now, but I saw one that was like, there's no way that he was pooping for 20 minutes. This man was probably on his phone for half of that.
Also, probably. Maybe he didn't want to have their dinner party, and he's like, I can't stand these people. I'm going to go poop and have some alone time.
This is a funny comment. Crap widows. For all practical purposes, widows of men who take multiple 45-minute plus shits a day. Warning, having young children is a predisposing factor for making you a crap widow. Edit, many thanks to the awards that I solved my crap widowhood problems by becoming divorced. Now he can crap to his heart's content or until the kids come screaming into the bathroom.
This is like, have you seen the movie 40-Year-Old Virgin?
I have not, actually.
Or no, not 40-Year-Old Virgin, sorry. This is 40.
No. I've
with Paul Rudd and,
is that the one where they're a couple?
Yeah, and they basically, it's like all about them. They have 2 kids and they're 40 and they're just like, so many problems in their life and all kinds of other stuff that's coming up, and it's them trying to like deal with the kids and their problems and each other and all these things. And at one point, Leslie Mann, that's her name. At one point, Paul Rudd's in the bathroom and she just opens the door and she's like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm pooping. And she's like, why doesn't it smell? He's like, I'm flushing as I go. And then I forget, but he's on the iPad. He's basically playing a game. And I think this is the same movie, but I think she grabs the iPad from him and he's like, don't make that move. I didn't want to make that move. Like, he yells at her to not play the game. It's pretty funny.
That's awesome.
It's a great scene.
No, I've seen clips of that movie. And I know that, like, the bathroom can become a refuge if you have kids. So it's, that's awesome. But yeah, this man's an asshole, apparently. But I would say he's not, personally.
Yeah. See, this is not, like, I just feel like there's a lot of nuances in that story that make it a little bit harder. Like, just in general, I don't feel like he's the asshole. Like, if you gotta go, you gotta go. But at the same time, is he telling the whole story? Like,
that is true. We only have his point of view.
Yeah, is he notorious for, like, disappearing and doing things like this, or, like, putting her in this spot, or, you know, I don't really...
That's an excellent point.
I don't know if he's telling the full truth, so... Anyways.
Next story. Am I the asshole for telling my husband he poops too much? No context.
Immediately, yes.
Okay. Gotta get it out. So
I mean, if you've really got to poop, you can't tell somebody they got to poop less.
right. My husband poops several times a day. He makes 2 to 3 trips to the bathroom in the morning, right after waking up, plus right after breakfast, then at least 3 more times throughout the day. Each of these sessions is at least 20 minutes, and I know he is actually pooping, although he takes his phone with him. That's not the point of this post. I don't care about the phone. When I ask him why he poops so often, he told me he feels like he's bloated and needs to poop after each large meal. Recently, I lost my patience and told him that his pooping was affecting my life and that he needs to go to a doctor because this is completely abnormal. We have a kid, and I find it annoying to have to accommodate my husband's pooping schedule among everything else we need to get done each day. He was offended by this and said it's normal to poop this much for the amount of food he eats. I continue to insist that he must have some type of disease, such as IBS or something, that is causing his constant need to poop. Am I the asshole for upsetting my husband and insisting that he goes to a doctor for his excessive pooping?
The fact that she calls it a disease. Like, clearly has some kind of ailment, but is that technically, like, a I guess it is considered a disease?
A syndrome.
Like, what's the actual definition of disease? I don't know why that struck me as so funny. Abnormal condition that affects the structure or function of an organism, typically characterized by specific signs and symptoms. Okay, so... Technically, it is a disease.
I mean, it sounds like he's functioning fine. It's that she doesn't like how he's functioning, so...
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of swaying a little bit more in her direction at this point, just because, I mean, good for him. That's amazing. I think a lot of people would wish that they could... I don't know if they would actually wish they could poop that much in a day, but...
That successfully?
I feel like they're, like, 4 times a day is, I think, amazing, you know? Mm-hmm. And some people, I think, do that, and I don't think that's super abnormal, but if you're pooping 6 to 8 times a day, I feel like, yeah, there might be something wrong, especially if you feel super bloated. I do kind of agree with her. I feel like maybe he needs to get looked at, honestly, just for his health, because it sounds like there might be something wrong. But I also get where she's, who knows how big their house is, if they only have 1 bathroom, I don't know, but obviously if there's stuff that's got to get done, and she's like, well, now I'm doing everything myself because you're just on the toilet for half the day.
That's true. If there's only 1 bathroom. Also, she didn't say this, but are his poops conveniently timed when his kid is throwing a tantrum or it's time to do a parental chore or something? Like,
I don't know, but it did sound like it's after every time he eats is what she said.
Yeah.
But and in the morning, it's like 2 to 3 times. That's true. And in the morning, it's like right away. I'm just shocked that you don't just like sit on the toilet until you're just completely finished. Or maybe he doesn't feel that way. I don't know. Yeah, that's interesting.
Well, I could have I definitely have my first thing in the morning poop, like as soon as you get out of bed. But then like, you know, an hour later after I've had a cup of coffee, there's the coffee poop. So those are 2 different morning poops. But yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting. I feel like something might be up. And I'm shocked that he's not bothered by that. Like, I feel like I'd be frustrated if, like, so much of my day was taken up because I had to poop that often.
That's true.
That's just inconvenient.
I will say, when I was having my belly issues and, like, was going to doctors for it, like, sometimes it was like, yeah, it's painful to poop, or the poop is weird, or, like, you know, I did have some of it was, like, it's taking too long, or I had to be, like it's more gas than pooping, but, like, they ultimately diagnosed me with IBS. It's like there's no solution to IBS, or at least not that I've encountered. And it's just like, or at least my doctor was like, it sucks, sorry, yeah, that's a bummer. And it's just like, you know, I was getting really pissed off. I remember I went into one appointment crying. Like I called her, I canceled work, called her, went in. She wasn't even available. It was some other doctor. And I was literally sitting there sobbing with my stomach hurting. And he came in and he was like, how are you? Are you okay? No, I'm literally sitting in a doctor's office sobbing. I'm not okay. And then it was just like, yeah, there's not really anything we can do. We could do a gluten test, but, like, that's all I can do. I was like, that's literally all you can do is tell me it, like, what? I was really pissed off. But that might be a function of the medical system more than just...
especially for insurance covered
yeah.
medical treatments. But I feel like if you went to, like, a doctor that could do functional testing, you probably could figure out a lot more about what is affecting your body and either avoid those foods. And then they also have, like, ozone treatments, I know, that can be helpful. But there's, like, a lot of different things you can actually do to really help that. But it's not stuff that's typically covered, unfortunately, by standard insurance.
But for the context of the story, like, for me, it was affecting my daily life. Like, I was in pain. I could not work. It was affecting how I could function. But it sounds like this dude is totally unbothered, and he just has his 6-poop routine.
Yeah. I'd also be curious to know if it's the same thing out of the house.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like, on a work day, is it the same? Is he pooping that much and taking that much time away from, whatever it is he does for work? Like, away from his desk or, I don't know, whatever he does. But
have you heard that rhyme that goes, they make $1, I make a dime. That's why I poop on company time.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, I'd be curious to know if it's the same thing out of the house or if it's just when he's at the house. I don't know. But again, this isn't, I feel like, a cut and dry one. I mean, it really sounds like maybe he does need to see a doctor, because that's interesting to me that he's pooping that frequently, and the fact that he said he's got bloating. And if she's, if they have one bathroom where she's doing everything and he's really never available to help her with things, then I could understand that too. Yeah, I feel like, I don't really think, I mean, how she said it probably is a factor.
And I will say, it's not like she's telling him to stop pooping. Like, this is coming from a place of care. Like, she thinks something's wrong, and she wants him to take care of himself. So she's not just being like, stop pooping, like, fix your shit. She's like, I'm concerned for you.
I bet it came out a little bit like, stop pooping, fix your shit.
Yeah. But I can see there is, I feel like there is some spousal love in here. She was voted not the asshole.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that.
This might be the comment I thought was in the last one. First, nobody poops for 20 minutes. He may actually go to the bathroom to poop, but if each dump is 20 minutes, he's fucking around on his phone. If he's actually pooping for 20 minutes, and by that I mean actually getting his dump on with wasted, exited his little bum hole, yes, he needs to see a doctor.
What is that even?
Yeah, that was a weird sentence. I have no idea how much he eats, but wow, some people poop after every meal. Not abnormal. But before and after each meal, 20 minutes each time, that's a lot. I know a lot of dudes who intentionally take their phones to the toilet with them to use the poop time to scroll, chat, rub one out, etc. Rather than focusing on him pooping too much, I'd suggest focusing on first, is he actually dumping the entire time? Because 20 minutes away so many times a day makes it hard to share responsibilities. Second, look at the times. Are they at similar times, or are they at times when, coincidentally, you need or want his help to do something around the house or with your child? That may be telling. Third, do explore the possibility that, giving full benefit of the doubt, he may have a medical issue. Ultimately, I get why he was upset, presuming he may have a legit issue, but not the asshole. That was a very long comment.
It was.
That comment was like as long as the story itself. Yeah. Yeah. Most people agree, not the asshole.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that one too.
Next story. Am I the asshole for telling my sister to poop outside with our dogs?
Yeah. Initial thought, yeah, 100%.
This is kind of a long story. I'm just going to preface this with, yes, I understand the title makes me sound like a massive asshole, but please hear me out. I, male 17, have a sister, 14, almost 15. She's absolutely wonderful. But over the past year, she's been refusing to flush the toilet in our shared bathroom. She doesn't flush and leaves the toilet lid open constantly. My mom excuses her behavior as a symptom of traumatic brain injury she suffered years ago, but I feel like the least she could do is lower the toilet lid so aerosolized shit doesn't go everywhere. I understand being startled by the sound of a toilet flushing, but Additionally, to the toilet, she leaves period blood stained underwear in the sink, trash, used pads too, on the floor, doesn't clean up when her dog pees, poops on the floor in there, and refuses to clean out her shower. And this bathroom is about 2 feet from my bedroom. My bedroom is beginning to smell awful, and no amount of candles, plug-in scent things from Bath & Body Works, or perfume can mask it. I'm at my wit's end. So I texted the family group chat about it. I explained all of what I just said and told my sister that if she can't treat the bathroom with a shred of respect, she should be pooping outside with our dogs. My mom immediately jumped to my sister's rescue, telling me to use hers and my dad's bathroom. Okay, yeah, the parents' bathroom. Quick side note here, our house has 3 bathrooms total, 2 upstairs with the bedrooms and 1 downstairs. My dad banned me from using his bathroom because he is convinced I steal his soap. This means that out of the 3 bathrooms, I can only use 1. Anyways, my mom told me that if I hadn't clubbed my sister like a baby seal earlier this week, my sister could have done better. What? Context for that load of a statement. I opened the freezer door that my sister was standing under and she hit her head on it. Entirely unintentional and an accident, and I'm being treated like it was intentional. Okay, pausing the story.
I know, there's a lot going on with this one. There's a lot. We need to address a handful of things in this.
Even if you do, like, purposely swing open a freezer door and hit someone in the head, I am shocked that is enough to create a traumatic brain injury.
No, I don't think that's what they're saying. I think that the mom is saying that there was an initial, like, for at least the way I'm interpreting this whole story is that the daughter has a traumatic brain injury from
something
before
else
and is struggling, and she did worse that week because he knocked her in the head. That's what I picked up from that story. I don't know if that is true or not.
That definitely sounds more logical. I like that interpretation better. But also, it sucks to be villainized because I've done this to myself where you, like, open the fridge and then you, like, reach down to, or the freezer, you reach down to grab something and then you, like, stand up and claw. I've done it on cabinets, like.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it happens. Handful of thoughts on this. There's a lot going on.
We're only halfway through the story.
Oh, shit. Should we take a break? Should we take a break and talk about the first chunk and then do the second chunk, or should we go all the way through and then talk about the whole thing?
I'm down for either. I'm curious to see what the rest says, but there is so much to already unpacked.
Oh, fuck. Okay, let's just send it. Let's hear the whole thing and then we'll go back.
Okay. This whole thing continued on until my mom threatened to make me pay for my own phone bill if I sent another text. So he's texting the family group chat that he's super frustrated, and his mom was like, stop texting or you're going to start getting your own phone bill.
Okay, I'm going to pause real quick. I'm also curious to know if the family group chat is like immediate family where we're just talking mom, dad, sister, or are we talking extended family where he's like, I need help from the whole family right now because this is what's going down in my house.
Yeah.
That I'm curious to know. Okay.
I'm guessing it's probably just the immediate family. Yeah.
Okay.
From there, my sister sent increasingly emotionally manipulative texts such as, I cried cleaning the bathroom, and my name, enjoy your tear-stained bathroom. Why
is she crying? Because she has to clean up her own mat. Okay. I'm starting to really dislike this girl, and I don't know her whole story, so I'm going to apologize ahead of time, but I'm really starting to be on this kid's side.
I was extremely over it at this point and just shut off my phone. My sister ended up leaving the house shortly after, and when she hadn't returned in 15 minutes, I went outside to check for her. I didn't find her and assumed she went for a walk. Soon...
I hope she's shitting outside.
Soon, they came home together and began laying into me. Bit more context for this part. I am clinically depressed and diagnosed with ADHD. Goodness, this whole family's got problems. Sounds like mom's a control freak. Or dad's also a control freak. Stop stealing my fucking soap.
Dad is not a control freak, and that's the one thing he has control over. He's like, God damn it, you're all fucked up. I just want my fucking soap. You guys get...
My mom told me that, of course, she's not respecting my feelings. I'm off my meds and unstable. I struggle with consistency with my depression medication and sometimes will miss days. That tracks for ADHD. I was pretty much done with the conversation at that point and left. I'm honestly not sure what to do, but I don't even know if I'm in there. I don't even know if I'm in the right here. So Reddit, am I the asshole?
Wow. Okay.
This one's fucking loaded.
I know, it's a lot. Okay, so let's go back. We're going to rewind.
Okay.
And we're going to go back to the beginning.
Okay.
So, I need clarification. Obviously, we're not going to get it, but unless somehow, miraculously, this kid listens to this podcast. If he does, I would love clarification as to the traumatic brain injury. Is this something that happened years prior? What was the traumatic brain injury? Obviously, you don't need to share that. I know.
So we do have, people have commented, we do have responses from OP. So.
Oh, okay. Do we know what the traumatic brain injury is?
All right, let's see. I'm just going to start going through because they're responses to specific comments. So I'm just going to start going through. I have a traumatic brain injury, and when I forgot to flush the toilet a time too many, I was grounded for it. I don't blame anyone for wanting a clean bathroom. Your statement was harsh, but you now have permission to use another bathroom that your family keeps clean, so don't press the issue anymore. I don't think you're a jerk. I think you were just fed up. Be kinder next time. The OP says, I still don't have access to any bathrooms upstairs, which really sucks, but yeah, I'm mostly just fed up. I absolutely sympathize with the TBI. I've been by her side, helping her since she got it 4 years ago. Okay. But this is new and absolutely infuriating. I think it's mostly sucks because I am trans and I'm used to having to really search for accessible bathrooms out in public. So having to travel additional distance for a safe bathroom in my own home sucks.
Interesting.
So you were right that it is
yeah.
The brain injury happened a long time ago.
So getting hit with the freezer is probably not great.
Yeah, just a little bonus.
A little unfortunate. But I just think, okay, don't get me wrong. I think there's this is tough. I feel like I don't want us to get canceled before we've even started. But I feel like it's really difficult for me. My first opinion is that's tough. She's got a TBI. I don't know how severe that was, or because that can really fuck some shit up. However, I do also think that sometimes we can hinder people when we kind of just give excuses like that. It's like, okay, well, how can we move forward? Because this person is still going to have to contribute in everyday society, I would assume. So she's going to have to learn how to deal with it. Like, what can we do to help her figure out? You know, there's probably steps or things like, I don't know, maybe there's a sticky note that you put on the back of the door or by the sink so that it's like, oh, hey, remember. Oh, but he did say she doesn't like the sound of it. I mean,
that to his point, he's like, it's fine. You don't have to flush. Like, you can just close the lid. And also, like, this is beyond the flushing, right? She's leaving bloody pads on the floor, dog poop on the floor, like all that stuff. I get leaving underwear in the sink. I do that sometimes, like, because you gotta let it soak. For people who don't have periods and don't know, when you have blood in your underwear after leaking, you usually have to, like, soak it in cold water. You can't just, like, throw it in the laundry basket. So that's just the thing.
Yeah, so I mean, and obviously with severe, like, mental health disorders, obviously, you know, there's people who can't even clean their own home and it gets really bad. So, I mean, I don't think that this, obviously there's, you know, I don't think it's super easy, but I also feel like the mom is maybe not, especially if the son is, I don't know, do we know what gender transitioned? I don't know if it's son or
I think they do say, male 17.
Okay, so the son, I don't know, like, it seems like he's got his own slew of problems, and it doesn't seem like, I mean, at least, again, this is one-sided, so we don't know the true story, but it doesn't seem like they are as accommodating with his issues as they are with hers, I guess, or lenient, or whatever it may be.
Well, yeah, for the mom to throw the meds thing at him and be like, you're not allowed to complain because you're off your meds, like, I don't think those two are linked.
Also, I'd be interested, they said that he could use their bathroom, or the mom said that, but I almost feel like because he had mentioned that his room was starting to smell, I almost feel like the daughter should have to use their bathroom. And it's like, are you going to be that okay with everything that's going on if she's using your bathroom?
That's an excellent solution. I fully support that suggestion.
I feel like maybe that's the solution, and he gets that bathroom next to them, and she gets to use yours, and if you don't care, then send it and let that behavior continue in your bathroom. But I have a feeling
problem solved.
That wouldn't be the case. Do I think you should have told your sister that she could poop in the lawn? No, probably not. Probably not the best way to handle it.
That line alone, yeah. But again, like you said with the previous story, clearly this person's fed up. They are so...
And I would be too. That's tough. That's a tough situation. Especially, I would say if it wasn't affecting his room, then I probably would just close the door to that bathroom, never use it, and let that be her responsibility solely. But since it is affecting the smell in their room, then I can see how it's a problem. And if it were me and my solution, I would be like, okay, she'll just use ours and we'll try to work through this. I don't know. But
yeah. Also, I will say we have to remember too that they're teenagers, and she's 14. And regardless of brain injuries and mental health, being a 14-year-old is full of drama and explosive reactions to a lot of things, especially as a girl. And so like the whole, enjoy your tear-stained bathroom, I hope you're happy. Like that's just a 14-year-old girl being a 14-year-old girl. Fighting with a sibling.
Crying, having to clean your own mess, that's a little dramatic.
Yeah. And what was I was going to say something. I remember when we were teenagers, right? And you and I bickered and screamed at each other all the goddamn time. And I'm pretty sure I was yelled at for just existing in the bathroom. I mean, I was mummifying tub toys.
You were in there for a very long time. And we only had 2 bathrooms, and sometimes the only other one was occupied, and you're still in there mummifying all of your bathroom toys with toilet paper.
So, like, as siblings, it's totally natural to crash out on each other for, like, pretty minimal stuff.
That's
so I think this person's very entitled to crash out about this stuff, because this is way beyond, like...
anything we dealt with as kids.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
So I think it's a bummer that the mom, I think, is clearly picking sides here. And I get someone with brain injuries, you have to treat them differently, and you obviously there are accommodations that are needed. But yeah, I like your solution that, like, okay, we can try this. We'll use the other bathroom. Let's see. There's more responses from OP. Someone says, not the asshole, and your parents should be parenting by enforcing the need for cleanliness and giving you access to another of the 3 bathrooms. Is there any prospect of your sister being well enough to move out and live independently in the future? Her future housemates won't take kindly to this sort of behavior. Honestly, from the OP, I don't think so. She's really dependent on my parents, and they enable her really heavily. Luckily, I'm graduating in June and will be moving out soon. I tried to tell my family that if she was just a roommate, I would have kicked her out by now or moved out myself. I understand having a disability, but she's extremely capable of normal life. Full-time student with a social life. It just doesn't make sense that something she can do at school, out in public, she can't do at home.
Yeah, that's very valid and very fair. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards his side on this, and it does sound, again, we don't know the whole story. I don't know what's really going on. We only know what he's telling us, but from what he's telling us, it does sound like they enable her a little too much. But yeah, especially when I heard that she cried about having to clean up her own mess, that's like very entitled and kind of...
yeah.
I don't know.
Yep. I feel like I should add a side note about the bathrooms. I can't use any of the upstairs bathrooms, and the downstairs bathroom doesn't have a shower or bathtub. I am supposed to be able to use the shared one, but when it's wrecked, which has been extremely continuous for about a year, I end up washing my hair in the kitchen sink and or doing my best to sneak in and use my parents' shower. See, that's terrible.
Yeah, that sucks. Like, you can't even live and be comfortable in your own house. Like, that's...
yeah. To have to, like, wash, because, like, and this is becoming a hygiene issue. Like, this is beyond just someone's comfort level. Like, if there's literally, like, dog shit on the floor and blood on the floor and just, like, an unclean space, like, that can be, like, unhealthy. Yeah. I think, did I say the Reddit voted this person not the asshole. But I will say, traumatic brain injuries, mental health, none of this is easy.
Yeah, it's tough. None of this, I feel like none of this is like super cut and dry, especially because we don't really know the whole story. But I was definitely leaning a little bit more towards his side on this one.
Yeah, good for OP for standing up for themselves and trying to be understanding. But like, it sounds like his ultimate solution here is to just move out, which is what he's planning to do. Whew, that was a heavy one. Let me see if we can find something a little lighter to end on. Today I fucked up by mooing on the toilet.
I am already interested to see where this is going to go.
So this is from today, Reddit's r/today I fucked up. Today I fucked up mooing on the toilet and discovering it actually works. I, a 36 female, had a hysterectomy last week, and recovery is basically just finding out how many ways your body can betray you. Sneezing feels like being stabbed, coughing is a crime against humanity, and pooping, LOL, good luck. So I'm up late Googling tips because I'm desperate, and I find this random comment where someone goes, just moo like a cow, it relaxes your pelvic floor. I rolled my eyes so hard. But the next morning, I'm on the toilet, sweating, bargaining with the universe, and thought, fine, let's moo. And I did. Like a legit, deep from the chest, moo. and it worked. Immediately. Like my body just went, yes, cow mode engaged. I can't even get through reading this. Anyway, here's where I really fucked up. My husband was literally... Sorry. My husband was literally walking past the bathroom as I was mid-moo. He opened the door, we don't usually lock it, and just caught me. We made eye contact. I froze, he froze, and then I absolutely lost it laughing. Except laughing after abdominal surgery feels like being ripped open from the inside. So now I'm sitting there on the toilet, crying, clutching my stomach, half laughing, half mooing, while my poor husband is standing there like, what the actual hell did I just walk into?
That's so funny. That's amazing.
Oh, I'm so sorry that I'm laughing through reading this. It's probably going to suck for audio. He didn't know whether to comfort me, call 911, or just back out slowly and pretend none of it happened. So yeah, today I fucked up by mooing on the toilet and learning it actually works, but also permanently scarring my marriage in the process. TLDR.
Oh my God, that's great.
Had surgery, mooed to poop, it worked. Husband caught me mid-moo. I laughed so hard I almost ripped myself in half. Update. I can't believe so many of you mooed with me. Honestly, your comments made me laugh. Carefully, because ouch. And totally turned my mood around. Thanks for making recovery a little brighter. To those that wondered, I kept my ovaries, so hopefully no early menopause for me, and have started bringing a pillow with me for laugh emergencies.
Oh my God, that's so funny. That's great. I can only assume too, like if you're in public and you're going to the bathroom and you just have to just no shame, just send it and just
in like a
beep.
Stop and Shop bathroom or at a fancy restaurant. You're out on your anniversary dinner and you're mooing in the restaurant bathroom.
I can't imagine the desperation of having to get to that point where. Oh, that's so good.
All right, well, I think this is an excellent place to wrap up the podcast for today. That was some Reddit stories. I'm definitely hoping we can do more of those. If you relate to any of these, please let us know. You can find us on Instagram at situations_podcast. You can also email us at situationspodcast@gmail.com. We want to hear your stories, or if you have any personal opinions about some of the stuff we talked about today.
Awesome. Well, everybody, until next time.
Thanks. Have a good one. Bye.